Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, everybody. We back again. Power Plays Palace. Man, what a day, what a day, what a day in the market. So what we finna do today is I'm not going to prolong anything. We're going to get straight to it, straight to the point, and let's look at what happened in the market yesterday. Okay? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. Boom. So yesterday, and I got a new chart design too, it's going to be tight. But yesterday, we were looking for a SPY. We had a pre-market range of 748.88, pre-market low of 747.02. And if SPY was to break above that pre-market high and stay above it, we were looking at 751 as a target, 753, 755, and 758. And if we had a pullback on the support level on the bounce, we were looking at, and it bounced off of that pre-market low, we were looking at targets of 748.88, 751.24, and 753. Now, on the bearish side, if SPY was to pull back and go up to the pre-market high and then pull back, we were looking for a rejection. If it rejected around that area, we would be looking at our entry around 748.40 to 748.80, with our stop loss above 749.60. Target 747, 745, and 742. And if it pulled back to the pre-market low during the pre-market, if it pulled back and it broke below that, then we were going to look at our targets at 745, 742, 740, 03, and then 730, 750. And that's what our targets were for yesterday. So let's get ready and show y'all what SPY did on yesterday. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So on yesterday, SPY, what it did, it opened up at around 748.74. And then it pulled back here to 747.40. And then it started to work its way up. And then it continued to work its way up. At a slow, pretty much steady pace until it got here around 12 o'clock. It got here around 7:51, 12, and then it pulled back briefly, consolidated a little bit, came back up, 7:51.53, then it pulled all the way back down to 7:49.64. And from there, it started to work its way up to 7:52.40, which was the high today. And then it eventually pulled back where it closed the day out at 7:51.30. Then after that, we see overnight it started to consolidate, show a little strength, but then it pulled all the way back here to where it opened up this morning at 7:49.44, established that low at 7:49.35, and then it worked its way all the way over to right now it's at 7:50.89, and it is it rejected a little bit off of that. It did close that little brief small gap that it had created, and it's starting to pull back. So we're definitely finna see what happens with that. But that is our chart. But for yesterday, if you played it, then you saw that it came and opened at 747 around that pre-market low area, and it covered pretty much all those areas back up, 748.88, 751.26, 24, and 753. It didn't quite get to 753, but it did get up there in that area, so you were able to benefit from that on yesterday. And so let's look and see what our chart say for the day. I like my new chart design, man. All right, so here's the new chart. A little bit more graphic, but I think you get the picture. But for today, what we're looking at is a pre-market high of 750.52, pre-market low of 749.35. And if SPY was to hold above 749.35 and it's able to break and reclaim 750.72. And then if we can get above the 752.40 with strong volume, we're going to target 750.72 would be our first stop. Then we'll have 754, and then we'll have 754 to 750, and that'll be our third area. With we open above the 752.40 mark, then that means that SPY has broken the pre-market high and it's really starting to push up. That's if we get a strong push up towards the previous day high, because what our current pre-market high is. And with our pre-market low being 749, our targets are going to be 747, 746.25, 745, and 743.75. And that's if, we get SPY to push up in that 735 area, and then 749.35 area. And if it breaks and cannot hold that area, then that's what we'll be pulling back for. Now, what we'll be looking for today is to try to stay disciplined in our trades. What's been happening is over the last several weeks, SPY been usually making a good move in the first 15 minutes. And then after that, it kind of sets its direction and it kind of works that direction. Now, is that saying that it happens like that all the time? No, it does not. But that does say that, there's a little pattern forming. That's something that's been pretty consistent lately. So we want to try to make sure we pay attention to that. Because sometimes within the first 15 minutes, which I don't like to trade, what happens is SPY will actually start to move up before that. And in the first 15 minutes, and then it already been established where it's going. So knowing that the market opens officially at 9:30, I think using some of the pre-market data definitely will help if you're going to venture into those first 15 minutes before you start your trading, or if you're going to start trading in the first 15 minutes. So that's what we'll be looking at. Now, but today, we're going to look for these targets, 752.40, 754, 755. Those are our main upside targets. And then if we hold above that 749.35, that means we're in a bullish pattern, and that means we'll probably be looking for calls. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because sometimes when we trading, and the market is moving up, and you're looking at, like me, I trade on the 5-minute time frame, and you're looking at the market, and it's moving up. It's moving up all day. You see strong momentum, but then it has moments where it pulls back. That doesn't mean that the trend has changed. That just means that the market's taking a little break. And I want to point that out because sometimes what happens is we sit and we try to guess when the market is going to reverse instead of just, following the clues and waiting on it to reverse fully, because the pullbacks are a part of it. And if you ever get in a point where you're confused about when and where to pull back, or when you want to decide if the market is reversing, listen, just wait on it to happen. If you're in a trade, you already done seen your success, get out. And if it reverses and going the other way and like you figure it is, wait for a test and a retest and a pullback and see if it retests and pulls back and goes up to your next level, or if it is truly a reversal. And there, look for the reversal candles and bearish engulfments, and then the dojis and things like that, so you don't get caught up in it trying to guess. Because trying to guess this market with this type of volatility all over the markets is very dangerous. So it can get you in a lot of trouble. But in the meantime, let's try to shoot for the stars today on our trades. And let's look at it and see what's happening. Right now, what SPY is currently doing, it is currently sitting there in between the pre-market high and low and what we call the chop zone, if you can see that. Two white lines. the two white lines. You can see us sitting there between those two white lines. Chop zone. Let me put my VWAP and my EMA on the chart. So right now we actually sitting right here on this VWAP, and you know, now for me it look like my 21 is about to cross over my 9, and if that happens, going up with the VWAP going up, if this push this thing down, that'll be interesting to see what happens. But that's what we'll see, and we'll see. Wish you could have been trading over here when that thing, look at that separation. Come back trying to find that VWAP. It found the VWAP. Then that VWAP can act like a magnet sometimes when you get this separation, so you see it. But in the meantime, let's get ready for the market to open. It's your boy, man, Power Plays Palace. Don't rush no trade. Get in it, get out it, get your profit, and let's go, man. Now, stay disciplined. This is not financial advice, but if I say anything in the video to help you, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's get ready for another trade day. You have a blessed day, man. We out.